ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शांति शांति शांति। Namaskar, my dear friends. I am making this video on the identity of Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi. Sri Ji Lakshmi Narsimham has written about Sadguru Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi. He says, Sri Bhagwan has said of Arunachala in his Padikam, "My Lord, when anyone asks me of your greatness, you hold me motionless like a statue with bowed head. Similarly, do I find that my mind falls numb when I would write about Bhagwan Sri Ramana. Who is our Arunachala Ramana? He himself gave the answer when he wrote, in the recess of the lotus heart of all, from Vishnu downwards, there shines as pure consciousness the Paramatman, who is the same as Arunachala or Ramana." Sri Bhagwan was gracious enough to refer to this once when I was taking leave of him to return to my native place. He said, "Have you seen this morning's mail? Someone has written that Arunachala Ramana is everywhere, so that whenever he has an urge to come here, that feeling makes him postpone his visit." Humbly I replied, expressing my own point of view, which was quite different from that expressed in the letter, "Bhagwan, in this body I have realized you in your divine form as my Guru, my Bhagwan. Once having seen you, neither I nor any other can shake off the feeling of love for your divine form." At that time I was attending to the ashram correspondence. I drafted a reply to the letter in question, showed it to Bhagwan for his approval and sent it off. His remark about this letter must have been his parting message to me, as it turned out that this was to be the last time I ever saw him. Sri Bhagwan also affirmed his universal nature in the following manner in his benedictory verse to Atma Sakshatkara, which he translated into Tamil. Atma Sakshatkara, which was taught by Isvara to his son Guha, is now propounded in Tamil by that same Lord, the dweller within me, the ancient, the supreme. The power of Bhagwan is eternal and above all siddhis, supernatural powers. A siddhi is transient, but Bhagwan is a healer whose cure is permanent. He kindles aspiration in the heart of those who come to him, oblivious of their eternal nature, turns their mind inward with the inquiry, "Who am I?" and helps them to realize the self for whom the word "I" stands. The main type of Upadesa instruction used by Bhagwan is silence, as it was with Dakshinamurti of old. Divine bliss permeated those who sat around him. In this silence, the doubts of his devotees are cleared up and their questions are either answered or fade away and cease to appear necessary. This silence is dynamic force, eternal and universal in nature. Nevertheless, though universal, it is centered at the ashram where he lived at Tiruvannamalai at Arunachala. the spiritual center of the world. Here again there are the 2 points of view, both true although apparently contradictory. Sri Ramana's grace acts always but inscrutably and in diverse ways. We find his gracious and profound utterances in the small volume of his collected works, in collections of his reported sayings, and in books about him. That is food for the mind, but when the mind is turned inward by the enquiry, who am I? He is there in the heart, ever watchful, ever helpful. He does not. In the martial garland of letter to Sri Arunachala, he wrote, mere thought of thee has drawn me to thee, O Arunachala. Alluding to this once, I said, Bhagwan, the thought of Arunachala drew you here, but is it not still more wonderful that you drew us here who had never heard of you and lopped off our ego? His answer was his usual gracious and benign smile. Sri Ramana is an ocean of nectar teeming with kindliness. He is gracious and forgiving. Were he to dwell on our slips and faults, we would be lost, but ignoring them, he still guides us. He instills hope when we are dejected and stretches out his sporting hand to lead us towards the goal. The only things required of us are perseverance and faith to him. So this is the experience of many old and present devotees, especially when devotees they visit Tiruvannamalai and they wander from ashram to Virupaksa cave, or from Virupaksa cave to Skandashram, sit for meditation in Skandashram and Virupaksa cave. We feel the presence of Maharshi. We feel the vibrations of his divine power is fully present in these caves. I myself had experienced this while sitting in Skandashram and Virupaksa cave. Powerful vibrations are experienced. The current of spirituality circulates in the whole body, and there is difference when we are in the Arunachala or away from Arunachala. So whenever this is the experience, not only very few, whosoever is visiting Arunachala, definitely everybody experience these type of vibrations, especially when people are going for pardakshina. That time they feel lot of vibrations in their body. And Virupaksa cave and Sakand ashram are the two main places where Bhagwan has done the tapas, austerities, and he had spent his youth there. So we must visit Arunachala whenever get the chance. Arunachala is definitely a storehouse of divine energy, and we must visit whether we get time or not, but we must strive to visit this holy place and experience the divinity, experience the presence of divine power of Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi. And whosoever wants to visit must visit Maharshi's very favorite grandson. One is the head of the Ramana ashram, and other one is he is living just some 1 mile away from the ashram. So I visited him and I experienced the divinity in his vicinity. So thank you, my dear friends, for watching and listening this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Namaste. Ganeshan is the grandson of Maharshi Bhagwan Ramana. So he was born in 1936, and at the age of 14 years old, Ganeshan grew up in the presence and proximity of Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi. His sacred memory of the great master is rich in its content, and even at that tender age he could see Sri Bhagwan as the greatest compassionate human being. On April 1950, the day the great master chose to leave the body, the adolescent Ganeshan stood near the entrance to the room where Sri Ramana was lying and was fortunate to witness the brilliant flash of light that later moved towards the top of the holy hill Arunachala. Ganeshan obtained a Master of Degree in Philosophy and then came to stay permanently at Sri Ramanashramam, Tiruvannamalai, the sacred abode of Sri Ramana Maharshi, taking care of the old devotees of Sri Ramana. He did it as his sole sadhana, spiritual practice. In that way, he collected the reminiscences of Sri Maharshi from those old devotees, more than 75 of them, which have never before been recorded. His close contacts with sages and saints, including Swami Ramdas, Mother Krishna Bai, J. Krishnamurti, Nasagar Datta Maharaj, and Yogi Ram Satkumar, he says, have deepened and widened his understanding of the direct teaching of the Maharshi. However, he feels himself to be an insignificant dust at the holy feet of Bhagwan Ramana. He has travelled widely and spread the direct teaching of Sri Ramana Maharshi in its pristine purity. Wherever he was invited to give talks, he has authored a few books on the life and teachings of Bhagwan Ramana, among others. Purushottama Ramana, Be the Self, Moments Remembered, Direct Teaching of Bhagwan Ramana, and Practicing Self-Inquiry are very popular. At the veranda of his cottage, Ananda Ramana, he meets earnest seekers every Monday and Thursday between 9:30 and 11 a.m., sharing with them the spiritual treasure entrusted with him by all these holy and sacred souls. I myself and my wife both visited respected V. Ganesan at his Ananda Ramana home, and we experienced great spiritual powers. So, dear friend, thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you, my dear friend. Namaste. Namaste.